What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out, and I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. Messed up and out of touch, let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Okay, I showed up. Good night. No, hey, I'll take that. It's Friday. I'll take that. It actually is our Friday, so I guess that works. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just tired and ready for bed. I don't know. Trying to think if there's anything really to update you on. It's been kind of a pretty boring day, to be honest. There was news that happened. No, it wasn't a super crazy news day. But I do have articles up as usual, but only 3. It is going to be a very easy night. And it is what it is. I'm trying to think if there's anything that sticks out. Not that I know of. Like I said, it was a pretty boring day, pretty uneventful. I just more or less myself personally was just kind of trying to keep up on the different things that have been going on, checking in on different things, seeing if there's been advancement. I mean, I don't know what the hell to expect. I really don't. I have no idea what is more likely to be the bigger pain in the ass, if you will. First, I don't. There's just so much. There is just so much. But anyway, don't have really anything to speak on. I figure we'll just, like I said, make it an easy night. Maybe we'll make it a record-breaking night. Be out of here in 10 minutes. No, I'm kidding. All right. Fun. Protesters face prison for flipping off Macron. Let me tell you what, Biff. I'm telling you, this is nuts, and I have a feeling it's on its way here. I really do believe it's going to happen here. 3 protesters from the commune of Celestat near the German border face criminal charges after making obscene gestures at French President Emmanuel Macron. See, because you can't... Anybody that has a last name like Macron, you can't flip that off. That's just no. That's unacceptable. Anyway. Tell him to come on here to the U.S. and we'll talk about his obscene gesture issues. Anyway, the trio have pled guilty to contempt of a person holding public authority. Prosecutor Catherine Sorita Menard of the nearby town of Colmar announced on Saturday. Such a horrible crime. For giving their leader, Ledoy, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced or not, the middle finger. The 2 men and a woman may be punished with up to a year in prison and a 15,000 euro fine. Holy shite. The protesters, none of whom have any criminal history, are between the ages of 23 and 42. They will go to trial in September. A 4th person was also arrested, but they're not done waterboarding him yet. But has not been charged due to insufficient evidence. Oh, yeah, well, I had it right. They weren't done waterboarding him yet. Okay, Macron has faced strong opposition as he travels the country trying to convince his constituents that he's not a big, huge piece of shit. I keep getting off the script. Convince his constituents of the merits of the... See, I just keep jumping words in there. the pension reform package he signed into law earlier this month in the face of opposition from two-thirds, blah, blah, blah. You know that story. So, LaDoit, the middle finger. I don't know if it's pronounced that way or not. It kind of sounds almost right, doesn't it? LaDoit. Am I cussing or saying anything wrong? Am I saying, like, fuck you? And, is that what that means? Just wondering. Yeah, YouTube, let me know. LaDoit, is that I mean, would you suspend me for that or something? LaDoit, just making sure. Let me know. All right. U.S. banking crisis fears mount as major lender struggles. Shares in First Republic Bank plunged another 30% on Wednesday following a wipeout one day previously after the struggling U.S. lender revealed that depositors had withdrawn more than $100 billion in the first quarter. The bank stock dropped 49% on Tuesday after the San Francisco-based lender disclosed that it had lost 40% of its deposits, fueling fears of further bank collapses in the U.S. The concerns follow the failures of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank in March, leaving the U.S. banking sector facing its biggest crisis of confidence since the 2007-2008 financial crash. Investors got a sharp reminder on Tuesday that the U.S. banking crisis and broader credit crunch are not over, the chief U.S. economist at Gavcal Research, Will Denyer, commented. First Republic is considering strategic options to raise capital and avoid being seized by U.S. regulators, according to media reports. A source familiar with the matter told Yahoo Finance that a bailout plan would require assistance from the U.S. government. There is an open bank path solution here, but it's a matter of the government needing to convene to bring all the parties together to make it happen, he said. The recovery plan will reportedly include a sale of unprofitable assets and laying off up to a quarter of the lender's workforce of about 7,200 employees. However, media reports have highlighted questions surrounding First Republic's future as an independent lender or possibly as a part of a bigger bank. Christopher Wolf, head of the North American banks at Fitch Ratings, said any potential buyer of First Republic would be looking at a big write-down in the value of the lender's assets. The options are very challenging and can probably very costly, especially for shareholders, Wolf told Reuters, who's going to bear the cost. According to CNBC, advisors for the troubled lender will try to persuade some of the 11 banks that provided a $30 billion rescue package last month to buy First Republic's underwater bonds at above market rates for a loss of several $billion. And like I've been saying, it'll go down when they want it to go down. Not any time sooner, not any time later. Because the numbers aren't real. It's like the show Whose Line Is It Anyway, right? The points don't matter. Even my phone agrees. That's phonese for fuck yeah. Anyway. Oh, man. U.S. drops deadline for nuclear arms upgrade. And, I've been thinking about this. And, my shoulders have been kind of sore. I'm kind of wore out. I wouldn't mind maybe having a nuclear arms upgrade. I mean, shit. I'd feel at least partially like a new man, right? I'm they won't give me a nuclear arms upgrade. Shitty ass healthcare system. Anyway, a government agency responsible for the U.S. nuclear stockpile has dropped a previous deadline for ramping up production of a key atomic weapons part of Los Alamos National Laboratory, lending credence to concerns about delays and cost overruns voiced by some lawmakers. The National Nuclear Security Administration, NSAA, or NSA, an agency in the Department of Energy, delivered its latest stockpile. Oh, you wait. They better use that acronym down the paragraph a little bit here. I'll be pissed if they don't use it anymore. Delivered its latest stockpile stewardship and management plan to Congress on Monday. The Associated Press, app, pointed out that absence of the deadline for ramping up production of plutonium pits, right? Not quite plutonium yet. Uranium, not quite plutonium. Anyway, plutonium pits, basic components of thermonuclear weapons at the historic New Mexico facility. Last year's report said Los Alamos would be manufacturing 30 pits per year by 2026. So remember that. Let's keep a very close eye on the pits per year. Looky, here it is. The NSA seeks to produce 80 plutonium pits annually, with the Savannah River site in South Carolina scheduled to ramp up production to 50 ppy by 2030. The agency needs to advance the science and mature the engineering, complete ongoing equipment upgrades to optimize the pit production process flow, and expand the workforce at Los Alamos to achieve the 30 ppy mark, the latest update said. The White House is requesting $18.8 billion for nuclear weapons activities. Hell, why not? Including $5.6 billion for modernization of production, app noted. Some lawmakers question the ability of the agency to deliver within the budgetary and time constraints. Yeah, good luck with that. It is not unreasonable for Congress to ask you to tell us how long a project is going to take and how much it's going to cost in exchange for our forking over billions of dollars, Senator Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, of Massachusetts. That's not Pocahontas. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, maybe, no, I don't know. Anyway, Massachusetts told the NSA, because apparently they got it wrong there. NSA, you almost have like a seizure doing that. Undersecretary Jill Ruby, how do you say that? H-R-U-B-Y? You gotta how tight do you gotta get your neck muscles to say that? Jill Ruby. Okay, during a recent congressional hearing. Hey, I'm just trying to enunciate their names correctly. I suggest that's what NSA be required to do after we give them another penny, she added. The Pentagon and Department of Energy are pursuing an ambitious program to beef up the U.S. nuclear arsenal, saying the country needs to keep pace with rivals Russia and China. The Russian leadership has said its own modernization and development of nuclear deterrence is necessitated by growing threats of conventional warfare posed by the expansion of NATO in Europe. Well, I want my nuclear arms, nuclear legs. I want a nuclear pecker. Could you imagine that? A nuclear pecker? How many billions of years would you be able to get it up? It would be amazing. Be amazing. Anyway, I am so getting banned off YouTube. That's okay. It's crazy. Absolutely mind-blowing. How you been, Jason? Man. I don't get this big push for nuclear because it's not even necessary. I mean, there's far more advanced weapons than that. The only thing that the nuclear weapons do is that they have a fear factor. I mean, I'm not saying that they won't blow shit up. They obviously will. What I'm saying is that is why they always put that in everybody's faces, because you know what a nuke is. You know? And you can't sit there and fear something you don't know about. You can't fear directed energy weapons that you don't know about. You don't fear a railgun that you don't know about, or a rod from God, or whatever it is that they call them. You know, and you have no idea about those weapons, and they don't plan to let you know, but you know about nukes. So I don't know. I really don't know what to think about a lot of this. I do my best to try to decipher, because we don't get the truth. We don't get what's really going on. We get bits and pieces of different things here and there, and we kind of have to put it together ourselves. A lot of this stuff in and around this conflict, meaning the one with, say, Russia and Ukraine, a lot of it kind of really doesn't make sense on the way things are going. We're still buying oil from Russia. That didn't stop. We're still buying oil from Russia. From my understanding, Russia and Ukraine are still doing some level of trade at this time. I mean, we've got this supposed big issue in the Asian Pacific, but I haven't seen any export or import stuff stopping, or you know what I mean? They haven't been pulling their embassy folks or anything. I mean, nothing. I really do think that the part of the good book where it talks about wars and rumors of wars, I think that is a very, very, very important part to pay attention to. For the Father to include the rumors of wars in there was important. If it wasn't important, it wouldn't have been added. There'd have been no reason to add that part. There's just a lot internationally that's going on that just doesn't really add up with the supposed tensions. You get a lot of them, their mouths are moving, but their hands are doing something completely different. I mean, yes, you're right. Talks of sickness and pestilence. Exactly. Absolutely. I really do think that we are at the moment in time when they start their big push. I believe there will be a big push, and that big push will be, it will encompass a whole lot of stuff. Of course, it'll include the things like the one world government, one world currency, one world, religion and all that. All that, of course, is going to be the goal. But I think we're really starting to see, or going to start to see, an even larger push towards those things. I think it's going to get pretty crazy pretty quick, to be honest. I don't think there's going to be, I'm just going to say it, I don't think there's going to be much tolerance for God-fearing people. I don't. Because that's the one thing they have to remove. And they know it. They know it. That's the one thing that ties everything else in. Humanity, how we're supposed to treat one another. It ties it all in. All right, let me do some headlines, and I don't know, maybe tonight I will run around the house and scream the end is nigh. It's a little slippery out there. It did rain a little bit. I don't know, is it worth possibly breaking a leg or something? Yeah, maybe. Depends. I enjoy the ride and the huggy suit. Or maybe I'll just read these damn headlines and eat a bunch of gummies and go to bed. That sounds like a pretty good plan. Pretty good plan. Let's see. Oh, I hear you, Jason. Yeah, I mean, it's insane what has happened to media, and then the good media, the really good media, man. It's crazy what they go through. And I will say, it is in one of the headlines, I did forget to mention this earlier, Tucker Carlson did come out of silence, if you will. Made a short 2-minute, I believe 16-second video, if I'm not mistaken. And excellent video. I'm sure you've seen it by now. If by chance you live under a bigger rock than I do, then check it out. It was on his Twitter, so. But anyway, just 2-minute, 16-second, and really good content in that brief amount of time. I don't know what the future holds for Tucker Carlson, but I absolutely wish him the best. He is the only, and I mean the only one, that I could even remotely stand on Fox. And I liked him. It wasn't just that I could tolerate him. I like him. And I still think if you want an absolutely unstoppable duo, Tucker Carlson and Glenn Beck would be an unstoppable. But you got to have Stu there, too. You can't cut Stu out of the car. No. Stu's got to be there, too. Because Stu and Glenn are magic in itself. But I think Tucker would be one hell of a nice addition in many ways. Not only in the humor part, but also in just the serious part. They're both incredible individuals. Anyway, yeah, I think I don't know if he's gonna go like the route of a subscription thing or something like that. I mean, he's pretty well. He can do whatever he wants. That's the good thing about his position. He could do his entirely own thing, or he could join up with someone else. Pardon me. And either way, I'm good, and I will definitely be watching. I hope it's not a subscription service, because to be honest, can't afford that extra kind of stuff. You know, I like Luke. I really like We Are Changed, and I would love to be a member of Luke Uncensored. But I honestly, I can't afford that $15 a month. I can't do it. So it is what it is. I mean, to me, you know, stuff like that, that's a commitment. And I know I don't have it. So, all right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, it was the first one. Was Tucker as well. U.S. becoming one-party state, says Tucker Carlson. EU country reveals losses from Ukrainian grain imports. China shifting away from dollar in cross-border transactions, says data. Musk's lawyer invokes deep fake defense. Let's see. Russia amends treason law. U.S. drops deadline for... Oh, I actually covered that. German energy giant leaving Russia. Leaders in alleged Pentagon leakers unit suspended, says media. Russian industry resumes growth. Fears mount over U.S. banking crisis as made... Oh, I think that was actually the one I read. A Russian life coach dramatically detained at border over $11 million tax. A mystery military craft with Russian markings investigated in Poland. They think it was a Polish missile, though. So, Ukrainian air defense depleting, says minister. Russian fuel exports surge despite sanctions, says Bloomberg. Now, let's see. Trump raped me. Oh, an accuser testifies. He didn't. No. I did not have sexual relations with that man. A right-wing Russian party calls virtual rally in Minecraft. Okay, then. Erdogan appears in public following alleged medical episode. Kremlin explains which contact with Kiev is welcome. Biden caught with another cheat sheet. Not surprised. Protesters. Oh, I've covered that. U.S. states sued for banning child sex changes. Let's see. Russia and Turkey agree to boost trade. Russia overtakes U.S. in fertilizer production, says an official. Pele added to the dictionary. I thought that was kind of cool. It's essentially it's a synonym for excellence. So I thought that was cool. A rapper convicted of illegal foreign lobbying. Let's see. Moscow reveals why U.S. and EU fear Russian media. U.S. spies on German Defense Ministry, says media. U.S. is holding more than 100 Russian citizens in jail, says the ambassador. Erdogan hails Turkey joining the nuclear club. U.S. opens immigration centers in Latin America. European state to issue fines for wearing symbol of World War II victory over Nazis. Yeah, you figure that one out. Australian gallery pulls Aboriginal exhibition over forgery claims. Poland used bogus charges to seize Russian funds, says ambassador. A Fed chair duped by Russian pranksters. EU country releases jailed Russian editor, says media. Kremlin reacts to Putin drone assassination claim. And that's it. Like I say, it was pretty quiet day for the most part. News-wise, it wasn't that intense. But I look at that as another day of peace for one, and another day to further getting ready, whichever way that may be. So, let's see. Do I think future children who got trans surgeries will be able to sue the government for? That's actually a good question. Right. Let me, because the chat's not available after I'm done. So Fire Marshal Bill, which everybody give a round of applause for Fire Marshal Bill. We all miss and love Fire Marshal Bill. Anyway, do you think in the future children who got trans surgeries will be able to sue the government for, and means like because you can't vote, you can't smoke and all that because of age, could they turn around and sue the government for the life-changing decisions that they were allowed to make? That is a good question. Do I think they'll be allowed to sue the government? No. Because it's funny how that works. But they will definitely have some scapegoats that they'll be allowed to do whatever they want with. You can bet that. I don't know for sure who that'll be. It might be some of the organizations or, you better believe that there is going to be some heads that roll. But it's not going to be theirs, because that's not how it works. It's not going to be their heads that roll. They're gonna pick somebody else's heads to roll. And I don't think the government will take any responsibility for any of it. I say this from time to time because it's important to remember. Hitler never broke a law. Hitler never broke a law. And that's important to remember. He sure the hell had a whole hell of a lot of other people doing some pretty crazy stuff. But technically, Hitler never broke a law. So it's important to remember that. The legal system is a joke. An absolute joke. It is not even remotely a representation of justice these days. And it doesn't even matter what the hell is written down on paper that they tell us is the rules. Because it's all pick and choose on who it gets enforced with. So we have no justice. We have no justice system. We have an entity of people posing as that, but it's not justice. Not even remotely justice. So now I don't think that anybody in the government will really go down. I don't think anybody in the government will go to jail, but I do absolutely believe that there will be people to take the fall in different organizations and what have you. And, you better believe that right now, because they eat their own, and right now, while all this craziness is going on, they're living their crazy lifestyles, doing this, that, and the other thing. And if you don't think that there aren't undercover agents that are watching and documenting every single bit of it, that shit's going to come back to haunt them. You watch. You watch. Somebody's going to go from being a hero one day to being a pedophile the next. You watch. Just how they work. they won't go down. Hell no, they won't go down, and they won't talk about it. You know, if this stuff all gets turned around, people's heads roll and all that, the politicians won't talk about it. They'll sweep it under the rug. That'll be the end of it. It's insane. It really is truly insane. Anyway, I am going to get out of here. I am going to go to bed. Not a record-breaking night. I think I have beat tonight's time by at least a few minutes. Not many, though. Anyway, I'm going to get off of here, and God willing, I'll be back Sunday, and we'll do some nonsense then as well. So, I hope to see you then. I appreciate you coming tonight. As always, God bless you, we love you, and be one with your spirit. Shalom.